All right, notes on scratch paper today. This lesson is 20.2. We want to make sure it's labeled and make sure that we can find this since it's not in our book. We're going to start by reviewing the Pythagorean theorem, something we've done a ton of times, something you've done in middle school, I know. Here's how we spell Pythagorean theorem. P-Y-T-H. A-G. O-R-E-A-N. Pythagorean. You don't have to know that, but it's in our notes. We're going to spell it right. Theorem. T-H-E-O. R-E-M. Did my phone ring back there? On here, thanks. Okay. The abbreviation for theorem is THM, in case you ever see that. I know you have because I've written it before. Tyler, do you remember what the Pythagorean theorem is?
A squared.
Good. Everybody should know that one. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. C must be the longest side. We call that the hypotenuse. You guys know that? This theorem, Pythagorean theorem, only works in what kind of triangles? Tyler? Right triangles. Put that down. Right triangles. All right. Put a little squiggly line under that. We're going to do a lot of very short problems. I'm just going to put a little line under each one. All right. Let's say I have 3 sides and they're all 16. So draw a triangle. All of the sides are 16. I'm recording this so people at home won't be able to see this visual, but you guys here in class, I have these straws. They are 16 inches. So I'm going to show you when I put them together to make a triangle. Does this look like a right triangle to you? No, those angles are all acute. So watch what happens when we do the Pythagorean theorem. 16 squared plus 16 squared equals 16 squared. Please, in your calculator, type 16 squared plus 16 squared. I get 512. Then type 16 squared. Are those equal? Not even close. They're not equal because it's not a right triangle. Pythagorean's theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, only works if it's a right triangle. So put a big X on that equal sign. They're not equal. Let's fill in the sign that they actually are. They're not equal. 512 is greater than 256. And what kind of triangle did we say this makes? Acute, right, or obtuse? Acute. Write down acute. This is like a big chunk of this lesson. If they're equal, it's right. If a squared plus b squared is greater than c squared, it'll be acute. Make sure you get that written down in your notes. if the a squared plus the b squared doesn't equal c squared, but it's actually greater than the c term squared, the triangle will be acute. There shouldn't be any guessing. You're not going to have straws to look at. I just have them for today as a little visual for people in class. Let's do another problem. Go ahead and write down 4, 6, 8. Before you do anything, let me get you a visual here. 4, 6, 8. Here's straws, 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8 inches. How many of your guess is it's acute, right, or obtuse? What do we think? Look at every angle. If they're all acute, it's acute. If even one of them is right, it's right. If even one of them is obtuse, it's obtuse. Do we see any right angles? Do you see any pretty large obtuse angles? This one down here, right? So our guess is it's obtuse. Here's how we do it for sure and without these straw visuals. We take the smaller two, 4 squared plus 6 squared. We're going to compare that to 8 squared, the largest. What was our guess? 2. All right, let's see if that's right. I get 52 compared to 64. 52 is less than 64. That's not what we had before. Before it was greater than, and it was acute. Now it's less than, which will be obtuse. So let's write in your notes. A squared plus b squared less than c squared. Obtuse. It's sort of the opposite of what we think. Because when I think less than, I think, oh, it's going to be an acute triangle. It's kind of, it works the opposite way for these. Alrighty. Erica, give me 3 numbers between 1 and 16. 2, 15, 8. Oh, I like it. 2, 15, and 8. Now, did she say the biggest one last? That's not a problem, because I might list them this way also. When you are doing the work, you do the biggest one last. The way it's written, they can be written in any order. But when we do our work, we do the smaller 2 sides, and we compare that to the largest. Compared to 225. 68 is less than. So what kind of triangle do we think it is? Obtuse. All right, very important here. I'm glad she picked those numbers because I was going to pick numbers kind of like that for this reason. Look up at these straws. I've got a 2, an 8, and a 15. Tell me what kind of triangle. We said obtuse. All eyes up here. 2, 8, 15. Is that going to make an obtuse triangle? Problem, right? They're not even going to connect to make a triangle. This will happen occasionally. So I want you to do, I'm just going to draw this for the people that are watching. If I have 15 inches, 2 inches, and 8 inches, they don't even touch to make a triangle. So what I need you to do for this problem, cross out obtuse, cross out your work, and put a star by this problem. Your answer, what kind of triangle is this? Acute, right, or obtuse? Your answer is not a triangle. Those numbers don't work. 2 inches and 8 inches will not connect to even touch that 15. What if I had five, 5, and 10? Let me show you guys a visual after you write that down. 5, 5, and 10. Let's take a look up here. 5 and 5 makes exactly 10. Isn't that going to make 2 straight lines? There's not quite enough room to have any height. If I have 5 and 5, that makes 10, and I already have 10, that doesn't work. So these two, the smaller two, have to be bigger than the third. I would write that down. The smaller two together or added have to be bigger than the largest. If I have 10 and 5 and 5, that won't make a triangle. If I had 10 and 5 and 6, then I got one. That looks like it's going to be very obtuse. Make sure the smaller two together are more than the largest. That's how I determine if it makes a triangle. All right, let's do a couple more. Zach, give me 3 numbers, anywhere from 1 to 16.
14, 6, and 12.
I like it. Let's start by saying, does it make a triangle? So the smaller two are 6 and 12. Is that going to touch to reach the number 14? Yeah. Check that first. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to do some really nice work. You're going to get your calculator. You're going to come up with the right symbol. And this goes with that symbol, but it's got to make a triangle first. This one does. Go ahead on your own. Do the little bit of work and tell me what kind of triangle you think it is. Well, remember, the smaller two always go first, always compared to the largest. $180 is less than 196. What kind of triangle will this be? Obtuse. That's really all the work you have to show. I want to do one more. I'll give you numbers because there's a certain thing I want to see if we're understanding. How about 8, 10, 10? before you do the work, will that make a triangle? Well, what do I do if there's two of the same number? Well, 10 is the biggest number up there. So 10 is one of the biggest sides, and 8 and 10 are the two smaller ones. The two smaller ones are 8 and 10. That's definitely going to reach to a 10. So I'm just making sure we're all right if there's two of the same number. 10 is the biggest one, the C, and another 10 is one of the smaller ones. Hey, you guys can do this one without a calculator. Think about it. 10 squared is 100. You have 10 squared here. What's 8 squared? So 8 squared and 100 is going to be 64. 164 is greater than 100. Jacob, what kind of triangle would that be? Yep. Alex, can you give me 3 numbers that would not make a triangle? Yeah, 6, 6, and 12, or 6, 6, and 15, something like that. Good, let me give you your homework. Oh, the homework mentions a Pythagorean triple. Pythagorean triples are any 3 numbers that fit in the Pythagorean theorem to where it's equal. Pythagorean triples, it's not a main concept, not something we're going to have on a quiz or test, but if you hear it, sometimes it comes up on SATs. A Pythagorean triple. It doesn't have to be 3 of the same numbers. It's just 3 numbers that work in the Pythagorean theorem, meaning like it's equal to, it makes a right triangle. Here's your homework. Should take less than 10 minutes.